Morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm not. My cold's gotten worse. But hey ho, it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, when you pray for rain, you've got to deal with the mud as well. That, and a ton of Kleenex as well. But hey ho. I wanted to further go over Hugh Edwards because there was something that was said in his, I believe it was either sentencing or during the trial, but the judge had the audacity to say that Hugh Edwards wasn't a danger to children. This in spite of the fact that Huw Degenerate Edwards had photos of 7 to 9 year olds being penetrated. Yeah, this is the kind of disgusting man that is getting a suspended sentence, while putting up stickers can get you 20 months in jail. Growling at a dog can get you 20 months or so in jail. Where telling people to blow up the Bell End churches, okay, it is akin to terrorism, so you can kind of justify that one, but at the same time not. But they're getting like 20 months or longer, while this nonce that is walking 3 is basically given 25 sessions that he has to attend and a 6-month suspended sentence, suspended for 2 years. But the judge, as I said, had the audacity to say, don't worry, that's not my boss. Anyway, he had the audacity to say that Hugh Edwards was not a danger to children. I remember a couple of years back as well, and if anybody who's tuned in for that long, I also covered something else, which was that Hugh Edwards' wife even said that Hugh Edwards had mental health issues. Yes, his own goddamn wife suggested that Hugh Edwards had mental health issues, which I would be a lot angrier if it weren't for this fucking cold, bluntly speaking. So someone run me a bath, I might be able to warm up with that. Anyway, the fact is she tried to mention mental health and use it as an excuse as to why Hugh Edwards did what he did. No, you can't justify that shit, because I've got a few screws loose up here. I was born with autism. I was born, and I'm pretty much, my mental age is probably a lot younger than what it is. My actual age, sorry. But does that make me want to go out and pay people money to have pictures of child porn? No, it doesn't. And so this is just another cop-out excuse that people like to use to avoid accountability or to downplay the seriousness of what they've done. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. It truly is sickening when even his fucking wife will try to justify half the shit that he's doing. It is sickening that she can even think that she can try and use mental health issues to basically downplay what he's done. No. Just no. Like I said, I've got a few screws loose. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and buy child porn. That doesn't mean I'm going to have pictures of young children being abused and violated in the worst way imaginable. I would rather eat the gun than do that shit. If that wife has any balls, whether up here or down there, or in my case both, she'll leave that guy immediately. And even more so if she has children herself, quite frankly. Because that's what I am truly concerned about right now. The fact that Huw Degenerate Edwards' wife can even try to defend him on this shit, or try to downplay what's going on with Hugh Edwards, is beyond sickening. To put this into perspective as well, here's the metro that I grabbed from the bus that I just got off. So, this is beyond ridiculous, quite frankly. Sickening, I would say. Fallen BBC newsreader Hugh Edwards breathed a sigh of relief in the dock as he was spared jail for viewing child sex images he called amazing. Yeah, I bet he's breathing a sigh of relief, a subhuman cunt. Anyway, Edwards, 63, whose arrest mugshot was also revealed, led forward clasping his hands as he also got a suspended sentence. He pleaded guilty to 3 charges and admitted having 41 illegal images sent by a convicted paedophile he gave £1,500 gifts to. And here's the man we should all be just as angry at, as well as Hugh Edwards. Chief Magistrate Paul Goldspring accepted he had mental health issues and was a suicide risk. No, he does not have mental health issues. He's just a sick fuck. Call it for what it is. Oh, but it gets even better, folks. Oh, you're going to be feeling sick after this one, let me tell you. If I can hold the paper up right. Anyway, you are the most recognised news journalist in the UK. He's not a journalist. A lot of these BBC people are activists. Call them for what they are. It is no exaggeration to say your reputation is in tatters. No shit, Sherlock. A packed court watched as he was given 6 months jail, suspended for 2 years. He was put on the sex offender register for 7 years. Frankly, it should be life, but you do you, I guess. For 7 years, and ordered to attend a treatment program. He must pay £3,000 prosecution costs. How about £300,000 to some of the children? I mean, okay, it'll never fix the damage that is being done to these poor kids, but at least it would be a fucking start, and it would actually be the taxpayers' money at least going to a good cause. But I digress. But, and this is the bit that really should sicken you, and bear in mind, I only just got this off the bus, so this isn't staged or anything, but was not given a sexual harm prevention order, as Mr. Goldspring insisted, and I quote, he was not a risk or danger to the public at large, specifically to children. There is a realistic prospect of rehabilitation. End quote. No. He knew exactly what he was doing. This is not mental health issues. This is a sick, twisted fuck who paid a convicted nonce who he should have been absolutely nowhere near £1,500 to get all the hot videos. Though it says in the bit here, Hugh's 200 gift for all the hot videos. But the point is, this is not mental health. This has nothing at all to do with mental health issues. And to actually call it mental health issues is an affront to ordinary people who are genuinely suffering from mental health issues. I've suffered from them. My mum has suffered from them. I believe even my sister has suffered through some of it. Now, what I want you to bear in mind as well is that this guy was on the 3rd highest salary in the BBC. £480,000 a year. That would be enough to pay over what I get 20-fold. But here's the kicker in all this. And now I've got to flip the page back to the front. Because, if I can get a hold of it, it says on the front here, and this is what they've written, Beeb appalled amid anger at soft sentence. Now they say they're angry, generally speaking, at the crimes that Huw Degenerate Edwards did. However, from what I can read from this, And don't just take my word for it. Beeb appalled amid anger at soft sentence. Do you know what that translates to me as? Sounds like the BBC, are more angry at people being pissed off at Huw Degenerate Edwards' low sentence. Am I reading it wrong? Am I using too much common sense? Am I living off in that faraway place called the real world? Am I? Or am I just spouting the truth? I'll leave it to you folks. But I wouldn't ever say any crime I did was based off my mental health issues. Ever. Because at the end of the day, I would have to make that decision for myself. Likewise, Huw Degenerate Edwards made the decision to pay a convicted nonce who he should have been nowhere near £1,500 for images of children in the most indecent positions. I don't know about you, but that sounds like he made an informed choice. That sounds to me like he basically wanted to contact this person for the specific purpose of acquiring CP. But what do I know? I'm just a 33-year-old man with the lurgy walking to work who is basically complaining into a camera. What do I fucking know, eh? Well, I'll tell you one thing, like I've said before, and you can even say it with me. I'm not going to sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. I'm not going to mince my words. I will say it exactly how it is, and I will do my best not to bullshit you. And at this point, I've got all the evidence in here, in this Metro paper. And don't worry, when I get home, if it makes it that far, I'm probably going to end up as using it as new bog roll. Saves me having to go up to get fucking Andrex. Though I might be printing a story on my arse next time. But hey ho, we'll all have a good laugh together, right? And here's your rear end news from 5 PM onwards. But in all seriousness, I want the BBC to stop taking their frustration out on the ordinary British people who are quite rightly pissed off that this nonce is getting nothing more than a pat on the back. That's it. And the kicker in all this is he even gets to keep his BBC pension. So all that taxpayer money that's gone to pay for his pension, he gets to keep. For being a convicted paedophile. And I don't believe for 1 second this man is not a danger to children. That's the way I look at it. I don't believe for 1 second that he's not a danger to kids. Because it usually starts off with smaller crimes at first, before it leads on to other things as well. And it does beg the question, how many more skeletons are hiding in Huw Degenerate Edwards' closet? But as I said earlier in the video, if his wife has got any sense, if she's still with him, she'll take whatever kids she has, she will take what little decency she has, she will leave his ass and find a man who will treat her right and not be a nonce. Because quite frankly, I think she can do a lot better, number one. And number two, she shouldn't be stooping so low as to defend a nonce. To defend someone and say, he has mental health issues. How dare you? How fucking dare you, bitch? How dare you start trying to bring mental health into this shit? It has nothing at all to do with mental health issues. The only thing you could perhaps compromise, maybe if somebody had never learned what being a nonce was, or what pedophilia was. Maybe then, if they didn't know what it was, maybe you could argue some very small case for them. But mental health, go to fucking hell. Because there is no shot. That argument is washing with me. And I think, honestly, I think you need to apologise to people for trying to say, oh, it was mental health issues. No, it wasn't. It was a man who clearly has not got his brain set right, who has clearly got malevolent intentions for those poor kids who have been violated by older men, and I guess to a lesser extent women, but let's face it, it is mostly men, unfortunately. But you can't justify trying to label this all as mental health, and I sure as shit won't allow you to. Hugh Edwards is a disgusting, perverted, sick fuck, bluntly speaking. And I think it's time more people call it out for what it is. I think it's time more people came out and said to stop blaming it on mental health. Mental health does not make people go and do this. Mental health does not make people go out and shoot people unless they were extremely depressed or something like that. Mental health doesn't make people become a paedophile. People wanting to be that kind of sick, twisted fuck makes them a paedophile. And as for you, Paul Goldspring, I hope you're proud of yourself, giving him basically a pat on the back for being a nonce, rather than what he rightly deserves, which is having the book, the sink, the truck, the tank, and the fucking house thrown at him. Because that man was in a position of trust. He was in a position he was very highly paid in. And quite frankly, he should be made to pay back his pension. He shouldn't be allowed to fucking keep it, as it's an insult to the victims and the people. I hope you're proud of yourself, Paul Goldspring. I thought judges were supposed to uphold the highest levels of justice. Well, I see no justice here today for the children who got violated.